And Tasteless, even though he didn't see the Spire, has great timing here, throwing up those turrets just in the nick of time. He's got, I think he's got enough. He might want to use a second one on the left side of his base. Looks like the 5 or 6 mutas coming in right here, gonna pick off one of the SCVs building a missile turret, forcing Tasteless to cancel one of his buildings there. And the Mutalisk actually gonna go to work on some of the SCVs here, killing off the ones mining gas. That is absolutely critical because Tasteless is trying to get a factory tech up right now. And I'm surprised that even though Tasteless got 4 Raxes out, he didn't make a quick early push to try to dominate Day 9, his brother. But I guess, like you said, he did get supply blocked, and so that set him back a little bit. And Day 9 is going to continue to harass with these mutas. He could definitely abuse this left side of the economy right now. Seeing as how there's only one missile turret there, he's got to be careful, though, because that Mutalisk could go down, and it does go down. So a little bit leaving the weaker Mutalisk in the front right there costs him a bit right there. But Day 9 now has full map control with these mutas in the air. He is switching. Whoa, he's got a Baneling's Nest coming up. I have never seen a player go from Spire to Baneling's Nest simply because the Baneling's Nest is only a hatchery requirement. So could be seeing some interesting Muta Baneling play. I've never seen that before.
I think it's a very smart choice to switch to that Baneling Nest because simply put, Tasteless is focusing on heavy Marines and Banelings. I mean, one Baneling can kill 7 or 8 Marines exceptionally well, so I think that right now, Day 9 is just kind of adapting to what his opponent is doing, Tasteless, and so Tasteless, that supply block, I think, really did hurt him because that's going to give Day 9 the time he needs to get out those Banelings, and there goes the little ring around the rosy scan at the natural. Those Banelings, apparently they have a new egg animation. Looks kind of cool. They change stuff like this all the time. But anyways, he does have a bunch of Banelings on the way right now, and if he can get good positioning of those Banelings, could be pretty exciting here, or if he gets a little bit out of position, the Marines can melt them down exceptionally quickly, and so Tasteless, it's going to be all up to his micro, really. He's really got to watch out for those Banelings. Getting supply blocked really screwed up his timing attack he had planned, and you don't really want to be stuck at this weird position where you're only making Marines, which is exactly why he is getting those tech labs right now. He doesn't want to rely on Marines too much, and oh man, there's so many Banelings. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen with these.
Yeah, he's actually getting centrifugal hooks too. I don't know if you saw that, Husky.
Absolutely, that should be exceptionally fun, especially since they are they're just so fast that they can blow up just about anything once they get that. And so the Hellions, they're not going to do that much against them. The Mutalisk harassment is still going on inside the main base, though, so we'll just have to wait and see if Tasteless is going to be able to move out, though. He's forced to back up with these Marines and not wasting a stem quite yet, but he has pushed it back for now.
Actually, quite a large Marine army finally putting those Raxes to work and building 2 more Raxes as well on these reactors. He's got almost 5, 6 Raxes now, really heavy on the infantry, and getting Hellions as well. I'm not sure if this is wise because, I mean, Day 9 went for this Baneling build, and we all know how good Banelings are against that very packed, hard tight infantry. I mean, if those Banelings get into that Marauder Marine ball, say goodnight. You're going to lose your entire infantry army. And these Hellions getting out of position there. Unfortunately, they cannot fire burn the air. Those Mutalisks are very powerful against any ground unit. They can't attack air, of course. And Day 9 is, I think he's in control of this game, even though it looks like he might have less units, 104 to 109, just slightly less. He's got less. He's got the perfect counter to this heavy infantry, and I think the reason why he switched to Banelings, when he moved those Mutalisks over these Raxes, he saw how Rax heavy Tasteless was, and he decided, hey, I'm just going to get the perfect counter unit to that infantry, and that's going to be the Baneling.
It does look like medvacs are going to be on the way here shortly as the reactor there just got started. Now, it's kind of a funny position that Day 9's in because, yes, he does have a very strong counter, but if you miss micro the Banelings, then you don't really have an army. And so you got to be really careful. Make sure you get, good surrounds, good clumps of units getting blown up there. But yeah, I definitely have not seen Muta Baneling ever, really, as he has a army of Overlords just moving out. Probably going to start dropping that creep. Now, he has switched it up, gotten some Hydras. I mean, he can't really stick with only Baneling, with pure Baneling. That I just can't imagine that actually working because you still need an army to finish off the game. But it does look like Tasteless is going to move out right now. His Marines do have the shields, going to help him a little bit, but we're going to see, though, Day 9 needs to be careful with these Mutas and send them in when he does the Banelings. I think we are about to see one epic battle here in the center of the map.
think if Day9 can get these Banelings around in the right position, those Hellions are blocking the way a little bit, and the Marines, the most powerful unit there, getting in the back, so the Marines do survive most of the Banelings splash there. Everything else goes down now. The Hydralisks here going to work against the Marines, and there's just enough Hydras to clean up that attack. Wow, I like how Tasteless positioned his units, leaving the heaviest units in the front, the Hellions and the Marauders, so the fragile Marines didn't get hit by the Banelings, but it doesn't seem like it mattered. Day9 really taking it to the house with those Hydralisks, so he chose the right unit there to kind of reinforce with a little bit of range. And keep in mind, Day9 right now actually at a third base and throwing up a fourth as well. So he's got all these Overlords spewing creep all over the map, surrounding his brother Tasteless. And Tasteless is still stuck on 2 base. I believe he's mining out of his main right now. You guys can see the income tab showing the huge difference right there, 1,000 to 1,500. And Tasteless is going to have to make something happen. He can't allow these expansions to go up. And he's going to have to make something happen. He's actually moving out with some Marines and Marauders. Oh, but the Banelings coming in, going to force the Marines and Marauders to pull back. And this is the one thing about Banelings you got to be careful about, is it actually forces you to retreat even when you don't want to. So you've always got to be pulling back when there's Banelings coming in, so it's a huge territorial advantage for a Zerg player.
With those Banelings, he was able to kill most of that. Tasteless, I think, doing the one and the only thing he can do right now, which is try and move out with these medvacs to kill these expansions. A bunch of stemmed Marines and Marauders will kill a hatchery just exceedingly fast. Really not a lot you can do about it if you're out of position, but really Day9, just looking at the army size, he is ahead, and the income, of course, is going to be in Day9's favor because of these expansions. And one thing to note is Day9 actually caught a glimpse of this with his Overlords. He is repositioning his army back here, so he is going to be able to defend against this absolutely no problem. I guess maybe it was a Zergling that actually saw that, but either way, he's aware of this, got to be able to protect it. And even if Tasteless kills this hatchery right now, it's not going to matter that much because it's not even mining yet. And look at that, shooting down the medvacs. Every single unit is going to die here. Very awkward position for these 2 Marines to be in, as it was them versus the entire, Horde army here for the Zerg player. So right now, Day9 is looking to be in pretty good shape. He did give up a tiny bit of map control, but Tasteless unable to expand. He can't even expand to the bottom right because that Overlord is so well positioned there. So Day9 has just taken full advantage of this game and is definitely in a commanding lead right now.
5 supply for the Zerg player Day9 and 104 for Tasteless. Tasteless not looking too good here. He does have 1-1 upgrades, but the Zerg player, well, he is actually at 0-1, but the Zerg player has those Banelings, which are still so powerful against that infantry. It does look like Day9's a little bit supply blocked, but he just spawned more Overlords, and I think he'll be fine. I think Day9, with these 4 expansions, there's really not much that the Terran player can do, especially this great perimeter of air units of these Overlords. It makes it impossible for Tasteless to move out with dropships and try to snipe those expansions. So he's basically stuck. He's got to keep his army together in one ball. He can't try any kind of a medevac drop attack. And unfortunately, keeping your units together in one ball doesn't work against Banelings, as we're about to see right here, a complete surround, crushing the Terran army from the left and the right and the north. The entire Terran ball